Hi everybody, it's Barbara. Today I'm going to show you how I did this randomly placed hexagon background. I started with a bunch of cardstock. I'm using orange fizz, sour apple, and jelly bean green, and then several different stamped up patterns that I just found in my scrap drawer. You can use anything you want, and I will link all of the MFT supplies in the description below to tell you what background stamp sets I used. So I've cut out all my hexagons with the open hexagon borders Die-namics and kind of basically laid them out in the pattern that I want. But if you've ever tried to do that, you know it's kind of hard. So I'm using a template that I cut from the chicken wire cover-up Die-namics. And here's my secret weapon I mentioned. Press and Seal by Glad. It is great stuff for arranging small pieces where you want them. So what I'm going to do, because it's sticky on one side, so what I'm doing is I put my template down, and now I am arranging my die cut pieces basically the way that I had them on the loose card. So I will make sure that I press them down quite firmly into the press and seal on this sticky side. It'll also kind of stick to your hand, as you noticed. So just be careful you don't flip everything off. So just one by one, and like I said, I've already placed them kind of like what I want in sort of a random fashion using the different patterns. Well, I want it to look random, we'll put it that way. It was not randomly placed. So just make sure you stick them down quite firmly into that press and seal. And you'll see why it works so great in just a few minutes after I'm finished with this prep work. The one good thing about cutting that template is that you can reuse that on a card if you want, but I'm just going to keep it in case I want to use it again. Okay, so I've got all my pieces placed now. I'm making sure they're all pressed down firmly. And now I'm going to flip that other side over because I've put them down right side up. I'm flipping it over now, and I'm going to peel the back off very carefully so that you don't pull any of your little pieces out. But if you've pressed them down, when you flip that other layer on top, if you press that down really firmly, they should stay in place. If they get moved a little bit, you can always adjust, but they're going to be basically in exactly the right place. This stuff really likes to stick to itself. I've never used it in my kitchen, but maybe I should. Okay, so now it's going to be time to glue it to your card front. I'm going to cut off this excess because it will stick to everything and it sort of gets in my way. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue and put it on the back of just the hexagon pieces, not the template. Any adhesive you want will work, but obviously liquid glue is easier to get in here just on the hexagon pieces. That one moved a little bit, but easily fixed. Just put some glue on the back of every one of the hexagons. Again, being careful not to get any on your template, because you do not want that to stick to your card front. My card front is made from Sweet Tooth cardstock, an A2 size, and now I'm going to apply this to the card front. And just layer it down just like I normally would any large panel. Press it down really well so all the glue gets in contact with the card front. And next I'm going to just look at placement of my sentiment, what I want to do. This was cut from Happy Hellos from steel gray cardstock, and I did 5 layers of it to make sure I had some good dimension. So now I'm peeling off my press and seal, and I can just lift my template off, and every one of those hexagons is perfectly placed. Is that not cool? And they're not going anywhere. So now I'm going to put my sentiment strip on. It was made from steel gray cardstock, just sort of freehand cut, because I just wanted that one point there. And I'm going to pop that up on some foam, and then on the front of it I have a layer of green glitter cardstock. I wanted a little bit of bling on this card. So that's just going to go right there. And then I'm going to adhere my die cut sentiment on top of that. Now, as I mentioned before, I cut 5 layers of that and adhered them all together with liquid glue. But I have found that that glitter paper is really hard to find something that's going to stick to that. So I'm using this Ranger Multi-Matte Medium glue on that. It will definitely keep it in place, and if you get any extra, it dries clear and with a matte finish, so it's not shiny like some other clear glues are. So that's just going to get adhered to the glitter cardstock. Make sure it's placed firmly and straight, and that's it. You will notice that I did add a few gems later, but that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.